Hello everyone and welcome to the BU Reports Q&A. Today is the 166th episode. I'm joining you here outside today, live on Ubuntu Touch phone, through Radioy actually. So it's a layer on top of layers. And today I'm joined with Alfred.
Hello everyone.
And Aptly.
Hello.
So should we just jump straight into the news?
Yeah, actually, there are some things that I have picked out here, 4 of them actually, that I think stand out from all the changes. I haven't gotten through all of them that I wanted to pick, but those are all of the ones that I managed to pick. So one of them is Lamiri Document Viewer has received a fix for opening ODT and docx document files, document types, so that those can be opened in the document viewer app again. Then there are various fixes to the and improvements to the calendar app, which presumably help improve the situation with the calendar app even more so, without all the synchronization backend changes happening. Those are separate changes, but the app itself, the calendar app, is also receiving a good set of improvements overall. There is another one which has been merged both to Noble and to Focal, and that is adding the German 1 and 1 or 1 and 1 APN type. Having an APN set up for it means that it can connect to mobile data and receive MMS, and that should be happening now, which didn't happen previously. And another change that I'm really looking forward to trying out myself, because it also entails another set of changes happening on some other places. That is Waydroid with the upstream release of 151 in Noble and on Focal. And with Waydroid specifically, I think it should be possible now to just download the system image and vendor image of something that runs on ARM64 from Waydroid based on Android 13, so that you have an Android 13 image rather than an Android 11 image as used to be running on your devices. And I want to try this out real soon. But yeah, this is the little set of changes that I managed to pick out of culmination of the last 2 weeks of happenings on GitLab. Looking forward to mentioning other changes. And yeah, should we head over to the experiments, because there is something that I want to mention?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So coming out of the laboratory, I managed to do something that makes me wonder how to approach this with the encryption setup happening now. And that is, I wanted to boot Waydroid with encryption running on the device. And for whatever reason, Waydroid, the Android inside of the Waydroid image, believes that it should manage the setup of a home of the encryption, basically, which it doesn't have to, because we already have something that manages it. We use PAM for that. And it breaks, basically. It breaks during boot. Now, I'm wondering what to do here, because it is definitely requiring changes on the Waydroid side so that it can bypass those code paths, because nothing in there has required encryption and will require encryption in the same way. It might be using files based on an encrypted storage medium, like the X4 home-based file system-based encryption, but it might not manage it itself. It needs to be patched. But just as a warning out there, if you want to try out encryption on your devices, ensure that we have either basically fixed the issue on the Waydroid side by then, or just be sure that you won't be able to run home-based encryption and Waydroid at the same time. Just be sure what you do, choose wisely. Until then, we will work on enabling the use case of running Waydroid with an encrypted device. But just so that you know that you don't be surprised after you enable it and wonder what's going on. It definitely, sadly, breaks the Waydroid experience at the moment, and this needs to be improved.
Of course, but it's just an experiment as for now, and it's still early, so that's to be
Yeah.
expected on a dev channel.
Yeah, but we've also, as a on the good side of things, we have managed to enable encryption on a little bit of more devices in the meantime, which didn't used to work before. It was down to changes in the FS script configuration, where we basically flip a switch that is there, set it to true instead of false, and it basically does the job of enabling everything in the right way for the file system key to be used so that decryption and encryption on the fly works.
Great. Marius, do you have something to mention regarding the experiments you may be conducting?
Yeah. So, as you may or may not know, I've been sick for a couple of weeks, but I have been on and off doing a little bit. It's nothing major, but I have completed my integration with eSIM. Now I have made the UI for it in system settings, so you can manage eSIM. Currently, you can add and remove, but you can't modify them or anything like that. So, not that you often need to do that, but yeah, so that's it. Really basic implementation right now, but it works at least.
Yeah, that's a good thing. Because eSIM is becoming ubiquitous, and many providers use it currently for dual SIM or virtual things or for travel.
And also one thing, it's not really an experimental, but I'm currently tracking down an issue with ULT where sometimes after a while drops the connection and then it doesn't reconnect with the ULT. So that's also something that I mostly track down. It's a bit of a hard issue since it happens on the Android side. So we just need to find a way to work around it.
All right. Yeah.
But it's good to be back, finally.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at that.
It's good to have you back.
Yeah, and stick around this time.
I will. As long as I don't get sick, I'm going to be here.
Great. Then we hope you won't be sick for your sake and for the joy of having you too.
Yeah, for the joy of Ubuntu Touch, don't let me get sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it also helps the project a lot. Well,
yeah, good to be back.
I guess it's time to move to the applications. So let me share my screen. And in the last couple of weeks, we had a couple of new applications. The first one is JSON Edit, or JSON, or JSON, I don't know it.
Yeah, JSON Edit. That one is nice.
JSON Edit, yeah, so a JSON editor brought to us by Matthias Dalmans. So thanks a lot, Matthias. That's really important for developers.
That looks like
of-
something. That looks like something that you could find on the iPlatforms in the App Store. Looks really good. Looks like a really sleek way of modifying JSON data on the go using nothing but a phone,
yeah,
and it does so presenting it in a beautiful way.
yeah, and yeah, basically a lot of API just rely on JSON, so it's
Yeah,
really handy to have it on hand on your phone, like you have your calculator. Or
yeah.
and I use
Looks
my
really good.
calculator a lot.
Looks really good as an app. I'm
Yeah,
surprised.
yeah. So and it was brought just after the live show, the last time. So
Mm,
thanks, Matthias, for this. Then another new app is a web app called SNS Bank, which is a web application for accessing the SNS Bank, which I guess it's some. Let's get a guess at it, but I would say probably Dutch bank.
Looks a Dutch, yeah.
Yeah.
this
Okay.
looks Dutch,
Great.
yes.
Looks like it. But yeah, thanks Stu Telvier to bring this new web app for this. So yeah, might be useful for our friend in Netherlands. And we have a bunch of updated apps, starting by the Open Store that you all know and love because it brings you all the apps to your phone. We have also the Bitcoin Lightning wallet that has been updated. I stress enough to be careful with this kind of things. If you don't know, trust the author, but at least you can review his code. So thanks, Richard, for this, Richard Rich. I don't have a way to test it, so I never tried it, but it's something handy to have on your phone. We have also an update of mileage with new translation, I guess. Thanks, Michael for Thompson for this. It's good to see that apps are not just set and forgotten. I speak for myself right now because my app is basically updated once in a while when I feel the need to fix a bug. By the way, I need to push it because I fixed the bug recently. Upper indicator also updated by Pavlo Rudy, so thanks for this. Continuous support. This indicator is quite interesting to have, for example, your battery level, have notification when it's full or not, and it appears in the drawdown menu. So yeah, quite interesting for the battery nerds. I personally just rely on the 20% mark when it's red. I need to plug it.
Right.
But pretty useful for a lot of people. And the UT Translator, also a very useful app, which is an offline translator. This one I used a lot on my Pixel 3a, but since I moved to the Fairphone 5, I don't have it anymore. But I will surely reinstall it soon. By the way, I take the opportunity to talk about apps for your phone. To send a message for the app developers, please consider also updating for mobile. That would be interesting to see if it works properly there. So if you can do a bit of testing and maybe recompile for Noble, that would be nice also. Because yeah, Noble is around the corner, and hopefully people will move if there is enough apps there. So just a friendly reminder. I guess that's it for this week.
Very
So
nice.
I guess it's time for you, Alfred, to bring your rapper innermost vibes.
Totally.
Let's go.
Yeah.
All right, let's thank our sponsors. We have Smooth, Walla, Pine64, OneStein, DigitalOcean, Netlify, Odoo Communication Association, Private Internet Access, Gardner and Associates Consulting Inc., Tixia, GitLab, Cloudron, CodeLuta, Gandhi.net, and Brax Technologies. Thanks also to our patrons, and I'll try to speed through those as quickly as possible. Aethiel, Adam Havelka, Conspy, Daniel Franchak, Heather Ellsworth, Jose Angelic Skura, JT Caleb Clark, Kenneth Drew, Luigi311, Martin McFly Jr., Michael Kellner, Mr. T10001, Omegas, Pavel Arnost, PK, Robin Hoods, Rondarius, and Spendierhose. And the random fives this time are Magenta 9477, Lambda, Artheron, Artem Anulfri, and Kirin van der Veer. So thanks again to all the involved people here, and individuals and companies alike. Thanks for supporting us. And also, you can head to ureports.com/donate if you want to contribute to all those people who, or add to those people who contribute financially to this project. And you can also get merch over at ureports.com/shop.
Yeah.
Thank you for your
Thank
support.
you all. And if you want us to mispronounce your name, please join us.
There we go.
I guess it's now time to answer the questions we had from the forum.
Actually, there's one thing that I want to mention in between, and that is we are at Tito's this time around, and that is an event in the Netherlands focused on hacking, and EU Reports has the stand there, and also we have had the opportunity to have a talk there. Mum was doing all the shenanigans there and made it happen. So thanks again for doing so. And I hope we'll see a recording pretty soon, because I'm interested in seeing what happened there as well.
Yeah. That's great. We need to go to more events, but it needs logistic and planning, and we are not good at that yet. But we will improve.
All right, we should head over to the questions then, right?
Yeah. So let's see. The first one is from WBPKM. They say, hello, I'm not sure I understood well for Morph browser. Is the new Morph with Qt 6 reserved for Noble, or could it also apply to Focal in the system or in an app of the Open Store? In the case where Noble will not be made sure quickly for the first OTA. So we lost Marius, but I guess he was the best one suited to answer this question.
Oh, there he is again.
Oh.
Can you repeat the question?
Yeah, the question is basically, is it is Morph browser with Qt 6 be released on Focal?
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Overrated.
Waydroid is acting up a little bit, but yeah. Just can you repeat the question once more?
Yeah. Is Morph browser with Qt 6 be able? Oh, did we lose him again? Are you still here?
I'm still here, but I can hear you. Okay. Can we postpone this question and take it afterwards? I will fix my.
Okay, let's do this. So the next question is from Ida, and they ask, I've been trying to rekindle my programming skills lately, and I've tried to find a good learning path for Ubuntu Touch app development. But a lot of the documentation is marked as legacy. What part of the app development docs is suitable for beginners that have difficulties understanding what legacy stuff is still useful and what would be an hindrance to get started properly? It's a good question.
That's a good question. I suppose that means redoing our documentation a little bit and figuring out what is old and what is new. I suppose
Yeah.
I would guess most of the documentation that I'm thinking of right now is pretty accurate, even though it might be considered legacy, but it's just old. It's just not changing information, and that is around policy groups and what Content Hub is. We have very detailed documentation about that. Very important for app developers to know. But there's nothing in particular that says this is legacy or this is old information. So
Yeah, in my experience, also what you can find at docs.ubports.com is pretty accurate. And maybe we can share a link here if I can find it fast enough. I have one on hand. So let's create a banner and put it here. Up. Here you go. So yeah, this one for app development. Yeah, I think it's the root of the documentation for app development, and I think all the basics are here. And also you can use what it's called, Qt Quick things. It helps to manage Qt and QML to start developing, but yeah, pretty much with also the documentation on Clickable is pretty up to date. So I guess that's also a way to start.
by the way, because I see it in live chat, no, we do not ignore users in live chat. It's just that nothing has popped up that is worthy of answering at the moment.
Yeah, and we usually start by the question from the forum and then move to the question from the live chats.
Exactly. Okay, what else do we have as questions?
Yeah, we have also a couple of questions from Alagiri. The first one is a really interesting one. I like it because basically we should have already answered this previously, but no one asked. The first question is, what is Lomiri? How is it implemented in Ubuntu Touch and Lomiri Desktop?
So Lomiri is the graphical shell that we provide as part of the convergence effort that supposedly fixes the use case of displaying content and apps on a phone versus on a tablet versus on a laptop versus on a desktop in ways that are fitting at the moment in time on the device that you're using it. So that is convergence to us, and Lomiri is what we envision as the stack, the technology that enables convergence to drive and thrive, actually, because it showcases that new apps can shine, and we see it with our open store, with the apps that get pushed to the open store and released there. Those are very good looking apps, and most of them, especially those that use the Lomiri UI toolkit, look very familiar and fitting in the environment. Now, Lomiri and Lomiri UI toolkit and all of those things are components that we maintain as part of UBports and as part of the UBports Foundation. So there are a lot of components that are part of this, but Lomiri itself is mostly the shell, the graphical user experience, the UI that you see when you interact with your phone or tablet.
Yeah. and it inherited a lot of things from Unity 7, and so yeah, it's it's the hair from Unity that was then adopted by the Ubiquitous family, and we
Right.
maintain it now, and
Right.
hopefully we'll bring it to the next level. The second question from Halagiri is: I came to know that encryption is on the way to Ubuntu Touch. Is it for focal or noble? If encryption is enabled, is there a chance for banking apps?
This is for Noble. And yeah, sure, it could provide the safety that banking app authors are looking forward to, especially if they really envision providing an application for their banking needs on Ubuntu Touch. Remains to be seen, but I don't necessarily want to say that it's never going to happen. But for that, it definitely needs some way of encrypting the device or access to the files. And for that, the encryption is a good idea.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And to clarify, it doesn't mean that Wagrid will work with banking apps as they exist, because it depends on their implementation, but
Mm,
they mostly depend on Google things. And so it means that maybe native banking apps could exist if a bank is interested in porting their app to Ubuntu Touch. Which, let's hope one day it will be something that many banks will want to do, and that maybe some government will help to push forward, because they need to service all the citizens and not just the one buying Apples and Androids.
right.
Okay. Then we have also a couple of questions from Captain Funk. I love this name.
Yeah.
So let's start by hi, thanks for the amazing project. I have some questions. Thank you in advance for your answers. The first one is about, I will summarize it because the question is pretty long, but it's mainly about the support for the Pixel 3a related to mobile. And I think it was clear that there will not be VoLT on the Pixel 3As,
Exactly.
but
But
for a
there
noble
will
version.
there will be a Noble version, and that is Noble might be potentially, as far as I can see, the last version that I might be able to push through. It might be that kernel requirements rise again the next time around when we get another Ubuntu Touch, Ubuntu Rebase, and systemd requiring new kernel features. But for now, it should be working, and it will just not receive the voice over LTE enablement. So the device itself will still be supported, and I will still put some effort into it, making it work better. I just recently pushed the configuration for encryption to work, uh, and Pixel 3a is still one of my dearest devices out there. So I still want to keep it that way.
Yeah, it's a beloved one.
Yes.
And so accessory question is, will it need a full reinstall, wiping out all configs and personal data to move from Focal to Noble?
No. Should be doing an in-place upgrade and should just work.
Yeah. So hopefully, yes, in most cases, the move from Focal to Noble should be painless. But yeah, of course, there are always fringe cases. So that's not something to exclude, but it's mostly because of some hardware issues that they can arise. Maybe if
Mm,
there's some kind of uh, I want to say dead pixel, but for the memory. My
Yeah.
brain is just shut off now. So yeah, if you have some memory corruption, maybe it will require something, but yeah, otherwise it should be painless. And Captain Funk has also another question, which I didn't read before, so I will try to read it now. Here's the list of supported devices and features on the website up to date, because I hear a lot about Fairphone 5 being the base device for mobile development in the various Q&A. But this device and the Fairphone 4 were added in the list of supported devices not so long ago, and they instantly took the first place as best supported device. So I wonder how much is up to date in this list.
I
So
suppose it depends on the device. Many device pages don't necessarily see an update when something happens in the port, but many of them do. And it's a case by case scenario, so to say. So, depending on which device you pick, it might be updated more frequently in the devices list than others.
yeah. And to clarify also how it works, varies mainly the maintainer or some contributors that will test things out to just set what is working and what is not, and push it to update the page. So yeah, this process involves people using the device and reporting back to us to update it. So it's a device by device cases. But yeah, it's mostly up to date, except for devices that are less used. So of course, the most used devices are on top of the list because we are also more working on and improved. So yeah. And sadly, Marius didn't join back. But I guess we can also try to answer the question of the Morph browser. I think, if I understood correctly, I will read the question again because it needs repeating. So WBPKM asked, I'm not sure I understand well for Morph browser. Is the new Morph with Qt 6 reserved for Noble, or could it also apply to Focal in the system or in app of the open store? In the case where Noble would not be mature enough for the first OTA. So yeah, the idea is that we will try to bring Qt 6 to Noble in system, but in the meantime, and as a backup plan, because having an updated morph is really important. The idea is to get morph independently with Qt 6. So the morph browser app will bring Qt 6 with it, and only what is required for this, but the app will be quite heavy. And this will be available in the open store for Focal and Noble. But that will be the first step because we want to have Qt 6 in the system, which then allow a lesser heavy version of Morph to be installed as part of the system as it is right now. So I hope this clarifies. So yeah, the Morph browser thing is just in the meantime, before we have the ability to have Qt 6, it will be an app, but developing the app is also quite time intensive. And as you see, Marius is not immortal, and currently I think he's the only one working on the Morph Qt 6 app. Am I right on this, Alfred?
I suppose, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that sums it up for the question from the forum. So as we said, yes, we read the chat, and so do we have some questions there? Did you check it?
I see
Afraid.
something. Yeah, this one.
Yeah.
Does Ubuntu Touch have any conversations with hardware partners? Yes, we do. We have Bola and we have Fairphone working with us, so that Bola can ship Ubuntu Touch pre-installed on their devices, and so that we can basically, hopefully, achieve the same with Fairphones in the future. But yeah, talks with hardware partners definitely are on the radar.
Yeah. As we said in previous episode, we are also partnering with Brax Technologies. So for the Brax 3, and hopefully we will have new hardware manufacturers. But yeah, it means that we have to find some companies that are willing to develop hardware and then help us promote the software as well. So yeah, there will not be tens or dozens of them, but hopefully we will have more than a couple of ones in the near future.
All right.
Yeah. I can answer this one as well. So, is there a marketing team to promote Ubuntu Touch? Yes and no. As everything Ubuntu Touch related, it's basically volunteers. But we have a marketing group who discuss about how to push things. We are also trying to get some baselines for the graphical elements that we push for the design of the website. And so, yeah, basically we have something, but it's not really a marketing team like you can see everywhere on Instagram or in big companies, because we don't want to oversell a product. We just share our enthusiasm, and we want to spread the word for people that might be interested, and also to get people interested in helping us. We see a lot of people interested by the project, but not able or willing to help. That's fine. Of course, that's fine. But yeah, we need a lot of manpower to bring it to the next level and to be able to say, okay, I can recommend it to anyone on earth. We are not here yet. It's for specific people, but yeah, we do spread the word, and that's also part of the Q&As. It's to spread the word, to have some reference. People can search for e-reports, find a video on YouTube, and say, okay, what is the stage of development, and they can see the latest Q&A and see if it works for them or not. And we are fully transparent, so we also talk about the issues.
Mm-hmm. That's something you don't have on other places very often.
Oh, yes. And I love open source for that. Recently, I had open source hardware that had some kind of issues, and I reached out to the support, and it was really easy to open the hardware and modify things and test things out, because we are so open on how it's made and how you can fix it. And it was really easy for me to fix it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, open source wins every time.
All right. Do you see
Yeah.
anything important here?
I think we answered the question from JGG. JGJ. It's hard to pronounce.
J.
JGJ.
JJ. All right.
Yeah. We didn't answer directly about CMF Form 2, but it's in the same vein as the first question we answered. Oh, so I guess that's it.
That's it.
Sadly, Marius could not join again to say goodbye, but he will be there in 2 weeks if he's not sick again. Hopefully, be healthy, Marius. Alfred also
Yes.
be healthy.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So take care, everyone. It was great to see you again, and we will see each other in 2 weeks.
Bye-bye.
Bye.